Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good middle of the night. No matter where you are tuning in from, we welcome you to Ask Doc Live. Just wait for a minute as everybody is jumping in and everything is connecting. I love seeing so many people so early in the show. And just as a reminder, if you are on with us today and you would like to ask Dr. Wallach a question, go to your Zoom menu, click on reactions, and you will find the option to raise your virtual hand. So if you're like this, I'm sorry, I can't see you. So we need to raise your virtual hand. That way it comes up in my menu and I know that you want to ask a question. So my name is Rebecca Dukes-Kozak, and I welcome you to Ask Doc Live. So myself and my friends, Ruth Ellen Sanchez, Nasima Omar, Heather Bowen, Dr. Judy Reynolds, and our special guest, Dr. Joel Wallach, are here to provide this as a tool, as a resource to help you get the knowledge that is not shared everywhere. And this knowledge actually is providing you information and solutions to the most common health issues around the world. And it is my honor to be able to host for the next 2 hours this program, sharing this information with solutions, not just telling you what's wrong, but actual solutions. So in this program, we do have a chat. Make sure that you have that chat option open if you're on live with us. Our co-hosts are going to be sharing valuable information and helping you find the names of the products that Dr. Wallach will be mentioning in today's program, and also some helpful hints on things that you can do in your daily life that will improve and add to, not take away from what your cells need in order to regenerate, because they're regenerating all the time. We're getting new cells. In fact, I've even heard that in a 7-year period, every single cell of your body is brand new at some point in time. Of course, not die off and be new all at once, but it's amazing how our bodies can go from 2 cells and multiply over and over and over to create what we have today. And depending on what we put in our mouths and what we have in our environments, determine how those cells are going to react and how our genes are going to be expressed, which we're going to go a little bit more into the genetic thing in just a moment. But if you are on live with us, this is a safe place. We want to make sure that if you were invited specifically by somebody, and this is even if you're watching the replay, excuse me on that, make sure that you get back with the person that shared this program with you. They have an invested love in making sure that you get information to help you and your family and your community. So this is information we don't want to keep to ourselves. And as you are listening, I know for a fact you're going to want to share as well. Now, the content of this program is to provide educational information only on the importance of nutrition and supplementation. Folks, our food supplies around the world are null and void of what the body really, really needs. FDA has their whole recommended daily allowances. That's to keep us alive, but not necessarily thrive. And in this program, we will be sharing nutritional options that are available to go beyond that just survive mode and into thriving. Now, the statements that are provided through this program have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug. Products discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. And the information, again, is contained on this Zoom is for informational purposes only. If you are pregnant, nursing, or taking medication, We are to advise you to consult with your healthcare professional before starting any nutritional supplement. We're using food as medicine. That's a key point, folks. And our good doctor, who we have on with us each and every Friday, has been very instrumental in, I don't want to say suing, but that's what it is. When somebody's in the wrong, he calls them out and makes it right, folks. 9 victories against the FDA and making sure that nutrients are being added to things like our baby formula so that our babies can be healthy, which I know he's going to go a little bit into. But back to the genetics thing, okay? What we put in our mouth, what we have in our environment, like I said, it affects how our genes are expressed. And this gentleman has proven, he is one of the co-founders of the science of epigenetics, where it has totally debunked the genetic theory. And you can find that all in his book, Epigenetics. Dr. Joel Wallach, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you, Rebecca.
It's such an honor to be able to host you each and every Friday. I mean, not only are you one of the co-founders, one of the founding fathers of epigenetics, you're a recipient of the Klaus Schwartz Commemorative Medal, the Lifetime Achievement on Natural Medicine and Philanthropy. I always have a hard time with that word from the United Nations. I mean, you have so many accolades, plus having your thesis in the Smithsonian as a national treasure. And you're not above joining us each and every week and sharing this information to others. And I just can't thank you enough for allowing us to come into your Friday, every single Friday, so that we can share the information that you've shared through your research with the world.
Well, thank you so very much, Rebecca. That's just quite an introduction. I can't thank you enough for all the kind words. And it takes teamwork to do all this stuff. And so I can't thank you enough for allowing me to participate. And so basically what I want to do is talk about something very common. And we've talked about it before, but I'm going to come at it a little bit different direction today. I want to talk about arthritis, osteoporosis. And I want to talk to people who are already going to orthopedic medical doctors, who are going to chiropractors, massage therapists, and they're getting some kind of professional physical management or dietary management or whatever of things going on in their joints and their bones and cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and so forth. Right now in the United States, we have something like 332,228,200 citizens. Okay. And we have 58.5 million cases of what's diagnosed as arthritis. Arthritis, as the name implies, deals with the joints. Okay. 24% of Americans have arthritis, diagnosed arthritis. There's juvenile arthritis for kids under the age of 16. Right now, we have 300,000 cases, 300,000, 1/3 of a billion cases of juvenile arthritis in the United States. Now, this originally goes back to between like 1850 and today, okay? Back in the 1850s, people were beginning to switch around and not use wood for fuel and coal for fuel and stuff like that. And we had been doing that for millions of years. And of course, the ashes from wood and coal were put into gardens as a fertilizer. And the ashes were like 98% minerals and 2 or 3% carbon. Grandma would put some of these wood ashes into our food as a spice, but also we're getting those minerals for thousands and thousands of years. Well, when we went to electricity in 1882, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, and I have a book written about this event. It's called Hell's Kitchen, where we switched from wood stoves and fireplaces to electricity. nobody said, okay, well, we got to make up the difference here because people are not getting those wood ashes and coal ashes anymore as a source of minerals. Nobody said anything like that. Okay. And kids began to get a disease in the 1800s called rickets. Now, rickets was just osteoporosis in kids, the juvenile arthritis we talk about today. They had bow legs, they had hip problems and knee problems and back problems and shoulder problems. Their teeth were all falling out. They're just kids. Okay. It's called rickets. And in the 1920s, early 1920s, 1920, 1923, nutritionists began to put vitamin D3, which they had just discovered, into milk and putting them on the shelf in grocery stores. And up until that time, kids had given up drinking milk and gone to carbonated soft drinks. They went to juices, and there was no minerals in there, right? And so they weren't getting any minerals, and so they were getting rickets and all these problems. And so when they started putting the vitamin D3 in the milk, all of a sudden the rickets went away. And it was a miraculous thing. Okay. And so this is very, very clever stuff. And it's one of those things where it just shows you that if you give the body what it needs, it will do well. Well, right now, as of today, each year we spend $626.8 billion a year just to treat the symptoms of arthritis. What? $626.8 billion just to treat the symptoms of arthritis. We do not spend any of that money to prevent or cure arthritis, just to treat the symptoms. Okay, so the human population in America has been turned into a dairy herd for the medical system. Okay, it sounds pretty rough, but that's the way it is. Then also annually, people talk about osteoporosis, and you can, and of course, my book and the new CD, which is done with Rebecca and myself, it's all in your head. I thought there was 25 diseases that were caused by osteoporosis, skull squeeze and the spinal nerves and from spinal cord and also the cranial nerves. But actually, it turns out there's like 37 different diseases that are caused by osteoporosis of the skull. They never teach anything about osteoporosis in the medical school. So that's why we have the book and the CD. We have the set, and if you buy the set, you get a discount. You have to buy them together. You have to buy the book and the CD at the same time to get the discount. If you buy the book and the CD a week apart, you don't get the discount. Okay. Well, for osteoporosis, which is just, again, mineral deficiencies of the long parts of the bones, the joints is called arthritis, but osteoporosis is everywhere. And when you look at just the expenditure from three communities, the US, United States, Canada, and the European Union, each year that community spends 6.5 trillion with a T, $6.5 trillion just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis, not to prevent it or cure it. I mean, that drove me crazy when I heard that one. That means $2.2 trillion is being spent by America each year just to treat the symptoms of osteoporosis. And we're talking about cortisone and prednisone, and we're talking also about things like mineral drinks and so on. And we have a whole bunch of them. We've got the Rebound, or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it, 75 of which are minerals. We got the Rebound in the can. We got the Rebound in the canister. The canister has 36 servings in there. We have the sticks of Rebound, 30 in a box. We have a new one out. Kids love it because it tastes like cherry juice. It's called Mineral Sticks. Okay, it has 75 minerals in it, but it also has collagen in there to help rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and bone matrix and bone marrow and so forth. And so there's 30 of those sticks in that box. And so you want to get those and, give a little 2 or 3 of those to kids each day. And, but start adding, okay, to anybody who's getting treatment by any health professional, okay, whether they're a chiropractor or a massage therapist or a nurse practitioner or a medical doctor who specializes in orthopedics and so forth. Get them on these nutrients, okay? The Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, we started out, gosh, got to be 30 years ago, as the, let's see here, it started out as the Pig Pack, okay? Or the Pig Arthritis Formula. And people say, why'd you call it that? Why did you give it a Pig Arthritis Formula? That's because I wasn't a physician yet, and I didn't want the doctors attacking me. So I gave my program for helping to rebuild bone and cartilage and ligaments and tendons from arthritis and osteoporosis. I put the name pig arthritis formula in there, so that I say, well, see, I'm telling you, I'm a veterinarian here. So it's the pig arthritis formula, which became the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack once I became a physician. Okay. And so that's the history there. Now, we want everybody to make sure that this information gets out there. And of course, you pay wholesale prices for the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. You pay wholesale prices for all of our products. If you're going to auto ship, I will pay the shipping. Okay, so you're going to save a lot of money if you get an auto ship. And just remember that $6.5 trillion we're spending in the US, Canada, and the EU each year is just to treat the symptoms. And when people are just getting cortisone and prednisone, they're happy because they do get pain relief. They get inflammation relief. But the process keeps going forward. In fact, in some cases, will be accelerated by the use of cortisone and prednisone. Even though your pain is lessening, the percentage of mineral loss increases when you use prednisone and cortisone. Okay. And so it's one of those things where, okay, if you're happy with just relief and you don't mind, 2-3 years down the line, you're going to get a double hip replacement or double knee replacement or some back surgery, something like that, go for it. But if you want to avoid all those really serious treatments like surgeries and joint replacements and stuff like that later on, throw in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack if finances are a problem. Throw in the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. If you don't have a financial problem, use the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and the MSM. Throw in the collagen peptides or both, whether you're going to use the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack or the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay. Are the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay. All that kind of stuff. You want to make sure that you're getting the nutrition. Okay. And so when you do that, your bones will begin to heal themselves. The cartilage will begin to heal itself. The tendons and ligaments will heal themselves. Just remember, the covering of the brain is made from connective tissue. The covering of the heart is made from connective tissue. Heart valves are made from connective tissue. The muscles in your intestines are held in place by connective tissue. Connective tissue is in the skin. Okay. If you have white, gray, and silver hair, regardless of your age, it has nothing to do with aging. It's due to a nutritional deficiency. It's a red warning light, just like the red warning light in the dashboard of the car. So I urge you to, again, at the very minimum, in addition to taking your 90 essential nutrients, take the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay. But if money's not a financial issue, go ahead and take the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, throw in the MSM, throw in the collagen peptides. Be sure you're throwing in, let's see here. I said the collagen peptide, yeah. Okay, and then also beyond OsteoFX, I also take the collagen or the glucogel, which is the original collagen we had in the OsteoFX, and also in the when you have the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. Okay, Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. That's the collagen comes from one source. Well, the collagen and the the collagen in our newest products comes from 4 sources. Okay, it comes from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. That's our collagen peptides. And of course, we have the collagen from beef in the mineral sticks again. And so I take 4 of those, 4 to 5 of those collagen tablets twice a day. And then, of course, I throw in extra calcium and this, that, and the other. I mean, I take a lot of stuff. And that's why, I'm 83 years old and I don't have joint pain. I do have an injury, but I don't have any arthritis or osteoporosis or anything like that. I have very little gray, white, or silver hair for 83. Okay, let's see here. With all that, let's see here. We got a few moments left in this part of the segment here before we go to questions. And so I want to throw this to Rebecca. Rebecca, do you have any questions regarding the things I've said here before we go to callers?
Well, Dr. Wallach, it's very interesting that you're talking about the arthritis today and started out with the pig pack, because that's where I started. And I have people ask me, pig pack, what's that? And I was like, well, that's one of our original, packages, and it's still available. Now, why on earth would he call something a pig pack? And you just explained it. You started out as a veterinarian. And when people think of veterinarians, Dr. Wallach, they think dogs and cats, but no, you don't do anything small. You go really big. So I'm glad that you covered that, because that gives us a little bit of background and history on the development of the different products that have been designed to help people with bone and joint issues. And this morning I had my unflavored Greek yogurt, full fat. I had a scoop of collagen. I had a scoop of Rebound. I had a scoop of our collagen peptides joint health, which also includes additional vitamin A, calcium, vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, MSM, glucosamine, chondroitin. And people are like, well, why do you take all that? Well, folks, I'm 51 years old. And I think when I look at pictures of now and even 20, 30 years ago, I look younger. So I think it's not just helping with my bone and joints, which I had a lot of bone and joint issues, a lot. And I think it's helping with my skin. What do you think, Doc?
Well, I think you look like you're in your 30s. And for somebody who's 45, 50 years old, you look like you're in your 30s, and you're just, have that beautiful smile and the energy. And do you color your hair?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. That when you start getting white, gray, and silver hair, that's not aging. It's a red warning light that you're deficient in certain minerals. And those the minerals that prevent you from getting white, gray, and silver hair also prevent aneurysms in your aorta and your pulmonary arteries, and prevent problems in the valves in your heart and so forth. So it's in your skin. So it's imperative that you do everything here, not just just going to a chiropractor and getting some relief for 15 minutes or a couple hours or a day or two isn't solving the problem.
Well, and I'm glad that you brought up the chiropractor thing, Dr. Wallach, because I used to go to the chiropractor a lot. In fact, there were times where I would be going in and hurting so bad that I would get relief because things would adjust. But then stepping into my car, I had to go back in for another adjustment because I'd already lost my adjustment.
Wow.
And since starting on in the beginning, like I said, was the Pig Pack Plus, which includes the tangy tangerine, the osteo-effects, the plant-derived minerals, the glucogel, the essential fatty acids, and extra plant-derived minerals. Once I started getting on that, I could go to the chiropractor and my adjustments held. I would go weeks, and every once in a while my original chiropractor jumps on, and I know he watches the replays. He's like, Becca, okay, I've watched your story, count me in. So I'm super excited about that. And that's just encouragement for all of you that are watching. If you are a chiropractor, or you see a chiropractor, or people that are chiropractors, and they are really in it to help the people, help them find relief, not just have them keep coming back, but adding a good quality supplement program. And I've gone to chiropractors that have had supplements, but before finding longevity, those supplements, I didn't feel a difference. I didn't see a difference. And I invite you to feel and see the difference with what Dr. Wallach has put together with his formulas. So I started with the Pig Pack Plus, and then I went into the bone and joint formula. And one thing that the bone and joint formula has, Dr. Wallach, that the Pig Pack Plus does not, is that CM cream. I mean, that's a topical that I would put on my neck. I had 5 herniated discs. I had 3 in my neck and 2 in my lumbar, and I could put that on my neck and on the lumbar, and I would have relief almost instantly for a few hours, and use that as my body was actually regenerating and strengthening all of that connective tissue that then helped hold me in place. In fact, I talk too much, but anyways, um,
No, that's good information.
well, and see, I was diagnosed with scoliosis as a child, and I have always been self-conscious of my back.
Well, in the
Always.
1800s, they would have said you had rickets.
Well, that rickets or whatever you called it, created that
Mhm.
hump in the back, and then falling and breaking my back, I got the curve, just a whole mess that I thought I was going to have to live with for the rest of my life. And since I've been able to strengthen my core, strengthen the muscles, the tendons, everything that holds me up, do the exercises, use that inversion table, I'm able to stand up straighter, and I can wake up, I can sleep through the night without pain. I can wake up with no pain. I can go through the day with no pain. And it's just life-changing, folks. And if you're living in pain right now, you know what I'm talking about. It's not something that you have to deal with. And we, again, invite you to feel the difference, because there's a huge difference. Huge. And 45, 50 years old. Thank you, Dr. Wallach, because I'm over 50. But again, everybody, this message is being put together because it's coming from our heart. There's too many people that are hurting in this world, all around the world. I get emails from them all the time. What can I do for this? What can I do for this? It breaks my heart to see people hurting without having to. So that's why I host this program. And we've been going for over 2 years now, every single Friday. I think we missed once because it fell on either I think it was Christmas Eve. We didn't miss the New Year's Eve, but we skipped the Christmas Eve so people could spend time with their families. But Dr. Wallach, like I said, I have so many emails, and this message today is perfect with some of the emails that I have gotten, because Chandra is writing in, and on behalf of her daughter, who she adopted at 18 months old. Her daughter is only 23 years old, Dr. Wallach. She has had knee surgery at 16. That's the age they wanted to do knee surgery on me, because I had calcium overgrowth on the backsides of my kneecaps, and they wanted to go in there and scrape it. And I'm like, I hurt, but I couldn't bring myself to do that. She's 5'5", weighs 220 pounds. She's had 3 babies in 4.5 years. She suffers with anxiety, depression, and she has since she was a preteen. She has almost no ability to handle stress and either freezes or lashes out. She's already had her gallbladder removed last year due to gallstones. And she went to the ER a couple months ago, and they found that she has cysts. So Dr. Wallach, all of these things, and I had cysts. I didn't have my gallbladder removed, but I had my appendix removed. I know now what it's caused
Gluten
by.
alert. Gluten alert.
Exactly. And we very much made our own bread. We thought we were doing the right thing, and making sure that we had all those whole grains. Well, those whole grains were causing harm. So, Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend for Chandra's daughter, who's 23, 5'5", 220 pounds? She's already had knee surgery. She's suffering from anxiety, depression, stress, had her gallbladder removed, all these different things. She's had cysts.
Okay, well, here we go. She needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods. Okay, that means no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, no fried foods. absolutely, she needs to get rid of the, let's see here, not only the fried foods, but she also needs to get rid of any of the foods that are cooked in oils, no oils, okay? No cooking oils, no salad dressing, none of that kind of stuff. No processed meats, no bologna, salami, pastrami, pepperoni, no ham, no bacon, because they all have chemicals in them. And then she needs to stay away from gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten, still causes damage to the intestines, okay? And when the appendix goes out, that means that your body's already saying, hey, this is really bad. And so I'm going to kill the appendix here because there's too much damage, from the gluten. And so that's why people have to have an appendicitis thing, okay? Now this gal is about 70 pounds overweight. And she's got all kinds of problems, including, she didn't say if she had anemia or anything like that, but she does have musculoskeletal problems. Okay, and she has cysts. She didn't say they're ovarian cysts or whatever. She had her gallbladder taken out. Okay, so I want her also to have, let's see here, minimum of 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose everything twice a day. She needs the big hammer. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between a vertebrae, bone, matrix, bone, and cell. She needs to take the ultimate enzymes. Take 2 or 3 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal. It's a couple ounces of water. We call it the gallbladder in a bottle because we do put bile in there. We take the bile from the gallbladders of cattle that are killed in the slaughterhouse. We dry it and put them in our ultimate enzymes. I think we're one of the few enzyme products out there in the market that has bile in it. So we call it the gallbladder in a bottle. Anybody who's had a gallbladder removed or has gallbladder problems or gallstones need to be on our ultimate enzymes because of that bile. Okay. And then also, I said MSM. Okay. She also needs the, let's see here, the collagen peptides. A scoop of that with her morning drink, a scoop of that with her evening drink. And to lose that 75 pounds, I want her to take our keto shake. And this is not to be added to a meal. This is a meal replacer. It doesn't have to be the same meal every day, 1 meal a day. And she will lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And so she'll lose that weight over a period of 3 to 4 months. And as long as she stays on the program, she'll never gain that weight back. Okay, because when you gain weight, it's because you have a behavior called pica, which is your body's response to being deficient in certain minerals. Your body's looking for that minerals. So you eat more food, you eat more food, you eat more food. You say, I don't know why I'm gaining all this weight. Okay, well, that's because people have pica, P-I-C-A. You can look it up in any dictionary. Insatiable desire to eat. And that's why people become obese. You get them on the nutrition program. You get them off of the bad foods to maximize absorption, get rid of gluten and all that kind of stuff. And it all comes right. And you'll lose a half a pound, 2 pounds a day. So I think we covered most of her problems. So let's start there. We do need to hear from her every couple of weeks, and we can walk her through this. But don't forget that keto shake is a meal replacer. It's not an add-on. 1 meal a day.
That's right. And it tastes good too. And you don't have to mix it in a whole lot of water. I like to mix it in just about 8 ounces of water. If you're truly doing a ketogenic diet and you're looking for your macros, you can put in a tablespoon of heavy cream. It can be dairy cream, it can be coconut cream, just to help you keep those macros, and it's very satisfying. I absolutely love it. So Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for that. And Debbie is writing in and she says, I'm 69 years old, 115 pounds at 5'1". So she's 69, 115 pounds, 5'1". And her issue is, I have a rib that pops out about once a year. It's been happening for 25 years. At first, I thought it was a pinched nerve. And then last year when it happened, I went to the chiropractor. He told me that it was not pinched nerve, that I had a rib out. He put it back in, but it happened again the other day and he had to put it back in. So she said when it the rib pops out. It feels like knife stabbing her, and it just doesn't let up. And I remember those moments where the rib
Okay,
will pop out, and it's because of what we just talked about, that connective tissue and not holding everything together,
that is
right?
correct. That is correct. And of course, you notice as she got older, it keeps popping out more and more frequently because the damage is continuing to manifest itself, getting worse and worse and worse and worse, because she's just been getting sort of symptomatic relief with chiropractic and massage and maybe aspirin and that kind of stuff. And so she's really not giving the body what it needs to repair itself. So at 115 pounds, she's getting rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go. And then I'd have her take, I'd give her the big hammer here because she's got a real problem, which could be devastating. Okay. And so I would say one healthy brain and heart pack per month, get another bottle of R-selenium with the 5 cofactors in it, not from Walgreens. And I want her to have 3 of R-selenium twice a day for those cofactors, which are going to help, rebuild the cartilage and the ligaments and tendons and connective tissue. I want her to have a half a dose of everything in that healthy brain and heart pack twice a day. I want her to also have the, let's see here, the MSM, 1 bottle a month of the MSM, so you can take 6 a day, 2 at breakfast, 2 at lunch, 2 at dinner time. And they're going to help her support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between her vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, and all the rib attachments and everything. Then she also needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in her morning drink, a scoop of that in her evening drink. And then she also needs the Beyond Osteo FX. I'd have her take a serving of that twice a day. And it could be pills, capsules, or powder or liquid because it comes in all forms. But 2 servings a day, okay, of the Beyond Osteo FX. And then also I want her to have vitamin D3. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. So she can absorb these minerals and put them in the proper places. And she should see some very, very good response within 2 to 6 weeks. Now I say, give us 90 days, because in 90 days, you're going to be very, very happy when you have bone and joint problems. They have the capacity to heal when they have the raw materials given to them. If you're just giving them pain relief, they'll give you pain relief for a few moments. You're just giving mechanical relief. You might not get pain relief for longer than just a few minutes because it'll pop right back out, especially as time goes on, because the damage continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse. But these things are totally resolvable. And so and you might even get your chiropractor or massage therapist involved because he'll see the benefits you're getting, and he'd want to do that with his other patients or her other patients, right? And so that way you can actually build a little business, and you pay wholesale prices for the products. You get an auto ship, I will pay the shipping, so you save a lot of money.
Yeah, you definitely can save money with the auto ship. And be honest with you, Dr. Wallach, the shipping costs that Longevity offers are not out of line. I tried shipping a bottle of plant-derived minerals the other day. Okay, our plant-derived minerals are only like $26 for a full bottle. For that $26 bottle of plant-derived minerals, the post office was charging me $18 to ship it.
Woo.
$18, and I can ship it directly from Longevity for $8.50. That's a $10 savings right there. So when I have people say, "Oh, your shipping is horrible," I'm like, no, try shipping it yourself. Then you'll get some perspective. But it's amazing, Dr. Wallach, how when you really get the big picture, okay, and that we're talking about the big picture of health right now. What are you willing to invest in your own health? Are you wanting to stay where you're at or continue to decline by investing in all these fast foods and convenience foods and foods that are just full of fillers and no nutrients? Or are you willing to take a look at your diet and start investing in actual nutrition, is like I said earlier, we're using food as nutrition in our products. Things that are actually going to be benefiting the body and giving those cells the raw ingredients that they need to be able to do their jobs as our body was designed. Now, like I said in disclaimer, we're not here to cure any of those things with our products, but your body can do amazing things. Absolutely incredible how we were divinely created. Now, Dr. Wallach, I've got a couple emails here, more than a couple.
Okay, sure. Okay, let's go for it.
So we've got about 20 minutes before the top of the hour. And Jeremiah, or is it Jermaine? Might be Jermaine. Excuse me. He says his mom has asthma. She says that that COVID has really bothered it. So she's having a harder time breathing. And unfortunately, he doesn't give weight or anything like that. But I know that there's a lot of people that have breathing issues prior to having effects of what's going on in the last 2 years that's kind of intensified their breathing. So Dr. Wallach, share with us a little bit about what we can do for ourselves to help improve lung function.
Okay, well, asthma is actually a simple nutritional deficiency. It's not anything autoimmune. Your body's not attacking itself. You don't have a genetic problem. Well, everybody in their family's got the asthma. Well, that's because they're eating the same way and living in the same place, and they're avoiding the same thing. Okay, and so per 100 pounds of body weight, you want to get rid of all the bad stuff. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet ones got to go, because the carbonation in diet drinks neutralize your stomach acid, so you cannot efficiently absorb minerals and actually digest food. Okay, so you do need to do all this stuff, okay, to make sure you can absorb the nutrients. And then per 100 pounds of body weight, because asthma can turn into a fatal thing, so you really, really have to watch it. And so I would add, okay, to their meal, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, 1 per 100 pounds of body weight. If they weigh 150 pounds, I'd go for 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs. Take a full dose twice a day, and you get all the raw materials that are necessary, including the ones necessary to prevent and reverse asthma. Asthma is a very simple nutritional deficiency. When you have little kids that are 6 months old, 10 months old, 2 years old, and they have asthma, they're getting cortisone shots and everything, they're getting kind of a clinical relief, but the underlying nutritional deficiency is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. They're going to have some, they're going to have some disaster later on down the line. And so I really, really urge them to take for these kids, we have the kids toddy, kids under 3, 4, 5 years of age. You can take the kids toddy and the EFAs, take the kids toddy and the EFAs. The dosage for the kids toddy is on the back. It tastes like cherries. It's a liquid, comes in quarts. And so follow the dosage program on the back of the label. And then, of course, the EFAs, you want to take 1 EFA and 1 EFA plus a day, okay, say for a newborn baby, even if the baby's getting breastfed. If the mother's eating gluten and she can't absorb the nutrients, it's still not coming through the breast milk. So the baby who's being breastfed also needs to have at least 1 serving a day of the kids toddy and also the EFAs. And as they get a little older, they want to take they can take, if they want the liquid, they can take the cherry mints. If they want to take the mineral sticks, okay, they can take the mineral sticks with the collagen in it. And so there's all kinds of ways to get this nutrition into kids, okay, that are having asthma. Asthma can go away in weeks. We've had it for 5, 6, 8, 10 years, and in 2 to 4 weeks, it's gone, because it's a very simple nutritional deficiency. And of course, doctors keep telling people it's autoimmune. It's one of those things you just got to learn how to live with and take your cortisone and prednisone and, see if we can reduce all that inflammation and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if they just don't know, they're not taught properly in medical school or what the deal is, but asthma is a simple nutritional deficiency disease.
And Dr. Wallach, I used to carry one of those inhalers because I had asthma. And I have not used inhaler in 7 years,
Wow.
nor have I had the need to, or thinking, where's my inhaler? Because I remember anytime I would go out for a walk, one of the first things I did was check to make sure I have my phone and my inhaler. That's pretty sad. Rather than just put my shoes on and go for a run, I had to make sure that I had my emergency stuff just in case. So I love the fact that I don't even have to, it's not even a thought anymore. And I had 12 years where I raised my stepdaughter where we were doing nebulizer treatments.
Mm.
I wish I knew this information back then, because she would have issues with her lungs. They didn't ever say it was cystic fibrosis, but damage caused by being on a machine right at birth called an ECMO machine. And she had a nice little scar right here where they pulled the blood out, oxygenated it, warmed it, put it back in her tiny little body, and she continued to have lung issues.
And all
So,
she needed was the 90, including the EFAs.
like I said, I wish I would have known then what I know now. Could have saved us a lot of issues. So, folks, when I was taking her to her appointments, those rooms were full of mamas and their babies that were having lung issues. If you know somebody that has a child that has any type of lung or breathing issues, share this information with them. You can find the replay of this program on our website, askdoclive.com. So we invite you to check that out. We have every single replay, except for the one that we didn't have, posted on that website for you to be able to watch and learn and write down and share information that is empowering for yourself, your families, and your communities. So it's just another thing. It's like, man, life at one time really sucked, Dr. Wallach. I'm going to be real here. I didn't look forward to getting old. I was fearful of my children, and if they for my daughter, was she going to make it through the night? Because there were nights where we were doing nebulizer treatments in the middle of the night.
Oh my.
And sometimes multiple. And now with the information that I know, and with some of the kiddos that we've already helped, I know that there's more options, but those options are not being shared in a doctor's office. Right now, we're in your office. We're in my office. And folks, we invite you to hear this message, and not just hear it, not just listen, but share it. And that's what
Yeah.
Ask Doc Live is all about.
And we don't charge them anything for our information and our time.
No.
And they pay wholesale prices for the product. And if they get an auto ship, we pay the shipping.
There you go. There's a lot of benefits, Dr. Wallach, to the program that you have put together, that the only thing that somebody is having to pay for is what they're putting in their body to make their bodies stronger. The advice is free. The recommendations is free. We do have some health coaches, and in fact, I do have clients of myself that, yes, I do charge for my services, because my time is valuable too. But the biggest part is making sure people are getting this information so that they can help themselves in creating a brighter future for themselves and look forward to getting older. Well, Dr. Wallach, I have another, and for those of you who are on with us, if you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand. Go to that Zoom menu, find the reactions option, click raise hand. I know last week when I mentioned it again, I had 6 hands go right up. So we have a full room, and I know everybody, I'm looking at the cameras and everybody's frantically taking notes. Well, raise your hand if you have questions. I know that you have, if it's for yourself or somebody that you know and care about. We are here to make sure that you get the information that is needed to be able to make differences in the lives of yourself and others. Now, the next email that I have, Dr. Wallach, let me get to the right page here. Forgive me. Okay,
No problem.
so Corey is writing in, and Corey is 63-year-old female, 5'3", 135 pounds. And she starts out that I do not wake up during the night to urinate. Now that's a common question that you have, that so many people, we find it's real, folks. Having to get up during the night just because you roll and then you have to go to the bathroom. Well, there's a reason for that. She does say, I do smoke half a pack of cigarettes a day, but no alcohol. She was first diagnosed with major depression and attention deficit disorder in 1994, and she was put on a very common prescription for the ADD and then another one for depression. She says, I've been experiencing sleep problems for about 10 years after my son's suicide. I can't imagine. My heart goes out to you, Mama. I'm unable to fall asleep until around 3-4 a.m. and then sleep until 3 to 5 p.m. If no one wakes me. And there's a couple hours of fog thereafter, and it takes time to clear before I can do anything. Most nights I have bad dreams causing me to cry and talk, often waking up my boyfriend. 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with PTSD, treated with EMDR. You might know what that is. And within a few months, the depression was completely gone. So she's very thankful for that. Unfortunately, the depression was gone, but her sleeping problems were not the symptom of the depression. So she's wanting to know, Dr. Wallach, what can she do for her sleep issues? She says basically she's got some sort of circadian rhythm disorder. And she's wanting to try something else because the things that have been tried aren't working. So
Okay.
yeah, we're looking with depression, we're looking with ADD, and we're looking with sleep. And then
Okay.
for some people, half a pack of cigarettes is quite a bit.
Well, it's quite a bit for anybody. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the human beings are not meant to smoke. Okay. So anyway, at 135 pounds, I want her to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at 135 pounds, I want her to have one healthy brain and heart pack per month, half a dose of everything twice a day. But I do want her to get another bottle of our selenium with the 5 cofactors in it, so she could take 3 of those twice a day, because one bottle will come with the healthy brain and heart pack. I also want her to have the de-stress capsule. She go ahead and take 3 of those twice a day. I want her to get the memory effects, take 3 of those twice a day. I want her to get our synaptive. Synaptive is the biochemistry necessary for the neighboring brain cell to talk to each other so they can all kind of go the same direction. And this will help her with the depression and anxiety and all this other stuff. I want her to have 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. That's synaptive. Okay. And then I want her to have 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. Okay. Soft boiled soft yolks, soft, see here, soft poached soft yolks, soft scrambled butter. That's how I have mine. Okay. We had some great scrambled eggs yesterday. We had the kind of semi-soft boiled eggs for breakfast this morning. Okay. Because she could also, she needs to get a hold of that book and the CD. It's All in Your Head, because much of what she's talking about has to do with osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. Squeezing the spinal cord, squeezing the 12 cranial nerves, and having all these various issues, osteoporosis of the skull and the eggs. But she might also have MS. She might have Guillain-Barré syndrome. So she needs to, maybe go visit somebody else, a different physician, and ask, do I have Guillain-Barré syndrome? Do I have MS? And they can do some scans and things to see how much of her brain has been impacted, because 25% of your brain weight is cholesterol. And if people get on, there you go, if people get on a cholesterol reduced diet and they take statin drugs to lower their cholesterol because their doctor incorrectly believes that cholesterol causes plaque in the arteries, that's why we have so many problems. Alzheimer's disease at the rate we have it now, and things like MS and Guillain-Barré syndrome at the rate we have it now never occurred before until 1960. Okay, when they came out with statin drugs and people were told, don't eat cholesterol, don't eat eggs, blah, blah, blah. 25% of the normal brain weight is cholesterol. Your brain cells make cholesterol. Your many body cells make cholesterol. This is an essential nutrient, and doctors are giving a lot of people misinformation by saying stay away from cholesterol. And so go that direction. And I would also have her take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 vials a month, so she can get proper blood flow into the brain, into the coronary arteries in the heart, into the kidneys, and so forth. And she can, go to a pharmacy without a prescription and get some test strips to check her blood sugar or sugar in her urine. She can, get those kind of test strips and find that kind of stuff out herself. Okay. And so we do want to hear from her, because she's going to have a great story, because all of her issues, including the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress disorder, all that kind of stuff, okay, and bad dreams, sleep issues, these are all nutritional deficiencies, okay? And just taking prednisone and cortisone and sleeping pills doesn't cover it. Might relieve some of the symptoms, but it doesn't deal with the cause of the issue. Okay, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And hey, we're close enough to the top of the hour, folks. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Get up and stretch. Make sure that you have plenty of fluids. There is absolutely no reason to become dehydrated at all here in or wherever you are around the world. And you can become dehydrated, whether it's hot, whether it's cold. It does not matter. And when your body starts to become dehydrated, every organ is affected. So make sure that you are not becoming dehydrated. And I love the fact that no matter what I put in my drink, I can put plant-derived minerals in it and make sure that I am continually giving my body the currency of life, because minerals are the currency of life, folks. To have a healthy life, we have to replenish what our food no longer has for us. We will be right back on Ask Doc Live. Don't go away. And I am back with Ask Doc Live, and we just welcome you and thank you for joining us here each and every Friday, or any day of the week, any hour of the day, on Ask Doc Live. For those of you who are on here with us, we know that you are truth seekers. You are sponges absorbing information that you can use to help yourself and help your families and help your communities. So when you're like a sponge, you're soaking up all this information, and then when the need arises, all you have to do is squeeze just a little bit. Plant that seed, water that seed, and you will watch and be able to see yourself, your family, and your community just start to bloom and come more alive with less pain. Personal experience. And folks, if I hadn't experienced it myself, I wouldn't have believed it. And I cannot keep this information to myself. So I am so honored to be able to be your host. Again, my name is Rebecca Dukes Kozak, and I have an amazing group of co-hosts that are on with me that help me each and every week make sure that we get information in the chat. So if you're on live with us, use that chat. If you're watching the replay on our website or on YouTube or on Rumble or BitChute, wherever you're tuning in from. We have the ability there where you can make comments on that video, and one of our certified holistic health coaches will be able to get with you and answer those questions based on Dr. Wallach's teachings. So, Dr. Wallach, go ahead and unmute yourself. With Dr. Wallach's teachings, they're not just coming from a book that somebody else wrote. Dr. Wallach has done the research. He has read a lot of books, but he's also taking his own research, his autopsies, which Dr. Wallach, I want to talk about that a little bit. You shared something with me the other day that really touched me, that I want to share with everybody in regards to when you have somebody on that table for an autopsy. How is that? What is that experience like?
Well, it's a very intimate situation because you're really literally dealing with them. They're inside and outside. And so I like to think that when I'm doing autopsy on somebody, I want to be their best friend. I'm looking to help them. When I take their kidneys out and look at them, I'm looking at their kidneys to see how I could have helped them. Why did they die? And so forth. And so it's really a very intimate thing. And of course, the first major thing that I did was I was actually a third-year veterinary student at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri, and it was Christmas time, and all the various teachers and professors were out on Christmas. And I was working in the pathology department to pay for my tuition in veterinary school because I was just a poor, dumb farm boy. And so I was still doing some of those autopsies of animals when all these professors were gone for the Christmas holiday. Well, this one day in 1963, during Christmas holiday, this farmer came by and dumped 50 dead lambs on me. And just, he told me the night before, yesterday, the day before, he had 500 lambs. They were beautiful. He fed them in the evening. They're all jumping in and out of the facilities that had, the food put in there, and they're laying around rolling in all the food, and they're making noise and chasing each other and all happy. 500. Well, the next morning, we're talking 12 hours later, he wakes up to go feed them in the morning. They're all dead. 500 had died in one night. And so he brought me 50 of them. And it turns out, to make a long story short, I found out that the neighbors have been fertilizing their feed for many years with nitrates, and the nitrates have been slowly washing into the pond where these lambs have been getting their water. Okay. And the night that they all died, the temperature dropped from in the mid 50s down to 16. Okay, and they died of hypothermia because they were getting so much nitrates in their food, they couldn't handle the temperature change. And so I wrote it up. And so when the professors all came back in a week, I said, well, I've written up a basic program. Here's what happened, the story the farmer gave me, and here's all the data. And I believe this is due to a pollution problem, blah, 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 blah. And I had all the chemistries, and so they agreed. I said, well, can I be a co-author or something, or can you mention me? And they said, you're crazy, Wallach. We weren't even here. So this is your baby. That was my first scientific publication. And it got published in 1965, a year after I graduated. I was getting on airplanes, to go to Africa and work on the white rhino conservation project, which resulted in the Rhino Express book. And that was my first book, Rhino Express, and of course my first publication, scientific publication, as far as a research project, was on this mass die-off from pollution. And again, to make a long story short, I was in Africa working for Marlin Perkins, the old Mutual Wild Kingdom show, to save the white rhino. And 2 years into it, he calls me back because he got a big grant to find out what the heck was happening here, because there were so many things going on in the United States. And he said, this might be some of your pollution stuff that you've been talking about, Wallach. Okay. And it was a $25 million grant from NIH, National Institutes of Health, to Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. Barry Commoner was the head of the Department of Biology there, and Marlon Perkins and I had worked together in the TV thing, with all the African animals and so forth. And so this was kind of everything coming together in one place. And so I got to be the pathologist on the project because I'm the one that figured out that it was those mass die-off, those 500 sheep were due to a pollution problem. And what they wanted to do is find out what species of animals would die from the same pollutants that humans would. And they wanted to use these animals in cities and big zoos, just like the coal miners used to take canaries down in the mine, and the gases would leak into the mine, the canaries would die, and the men knew to get out. So if these animals started dying from pollution in the big cities, the people knew to evacuate the city. So that was the whole idea of the grant. And it was crazy, the things that I learned. I learned that the nutritional deficiencies were the big problems. Nutritional deficiencies were the big problem because in the zoos, the animals were being fed human food. And so, and they were getting some supplements. They get trace mineral salt blocks so the animals could run up and lick it and get a few minerals and things like that. But it wasn't really aggressively proactive to get all 90 essential nutrients. And so that's my story, okay, how I got involved in this diabetes thing. And there's 37.3 million cases of diabetes each year in the United States, okay? That's 11.3% of our population. There's 96 million pre-diabetics in the United States, 96 million, about a third of our population, okay? Because our population is 332,228,200. So just short of a third of our population are pre-diabetics, holy moly. And the annual cost of just treating the symptoms of diabetes, not preventing it, not curing it, but just treating the symptoms each year in America is 342 billion, 1/3 of a trillion, 342 billion. Holy moly. Okay, so if somebody has diabetes and arthritis, we're talking big problem here, because for arthritis, we're spending $626.8 billion a year just to treat the symptoms. And for diabetes, we're spending 342 billion. Okay, so we're right at $1 trillion between the two of those. Okay, and so it's very, very scary. And so that's why I was able to get these awards. I'm very, very proud of that. And so now it's time to move on and get more and more information out there so we can save more people. And we just can't thank you enough for letting me be on Ask Dr. Wallach Talk Live.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. And so I want to go back real quick to nitrates. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nitrates affected those lambs' bodies' ability to maintain their temperature, their core temperature, which then caused them to die of hypothermia.
That's correct.
The first thing that comes to my mind when you say nitrates is all of the processed meats.
Right. Well, that's always say no processed
hot dogs,
meats.
all of
Bologna,
those things.
salami.
Yeah. And it's so prevalent in the stores. I mean, the lunch meat cold case is bigger than the milk case.
Mm.
And then we wonder why people are having issues with their thyroid. These things that are being called autoimmune diseases that link to the thyroid. You found one of the very first cases in the animal world, which then directly transfers over, because folks, we're animals too, okay? We're not going to get out of that. We're mammals, we're animals. That our bodies are affected the same. Nitrates, things that are approved to be put into food. And yes, minute amounts might be required. Kind of like that thing that we all panic when we see arsenic. Trace amounts of arsenic the body requires. But intentionally putting it into our bodies and something that we think is food and healthy because it's a meat? No. Let's look at our diets, folks, and go with those whole meats. Start cooking more at home. Let's get out of the rat race of always having to be in a hurry and always picking the things that are quick and easy. Well, planning helps us make things easier so that we can then get away from these chemicals that are negatively harming our bodies. I'm off my soapbox now. Let's go to the hand that's up, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, let's go to some callers.
All right. So Theresa or Therese, go ahead and unmute yourself. You are on live with Dr. Wallach. If you want to come on camera, that would be fabulous also.
Hi, how are you? It's Therese, by the way.
Therese,
Hello.
thank you.
Yeah. Two-part question, what I think are simple questions. So I'm 49. When I was 7 years old, I had Guillain-Barré. I have no residual.
Which is MS, which is a cholesterol deficiency. Okay.
Really?
Mhm.
So my question to you is, I'm 49. I have no other symptoms. I mean, yes, I've had asthma all my life. I have had issues with some sensitivities and allergies. But my question is, do I have anything as an adult to worry about that I need to keep an eye on because of having Guillain-Barré as a child?
Okay, well, let me back up a little bit here. How much do you weigh?
140.
140. And how tall are you?
5'1".
Okay, do you have any other issues, any simple issues like arthritis or back problems, high blood pressure, diabetes?
No, I do have, this is where the other part of the question comes into. I was also told I have turf toe.
I'm sorry, you have what?
Is. They called it turf, T-U-R-F, toe. Has something to do with the muscles or the ligaments in my foot. I don't really know what that is. So that's why I was asking about that as well.
Okay. All right. Do you have any ringing in your ears, any tinnitus or ringing in your ears?
Yes.
Okay. How long you had tinnitus?
As long as I can remember, I've always had some type of ringing.
Okay. Do you have any balance problems? Any vertigo, dizziness?
Yes.
Okay.
I have vertigo.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay, is your main problem. You have osteoporosis of the skull. The tinnitus, the ringing in the ear, is the skull squeezing the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve. The dizziness or vertigo is caused by your skull squeezing the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve. All right. Do you have anything going on with your thyroid gland or metabolism or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Do you have any skin problems, any eczema, dermatitis, or psoriasis?
No.
Okay, good. But you do have asthma.
Okay.
Yes. So asthma, this toe thing could be due to the skull squeezing the spinal cord, as the spinal cord is made in the skull and then comes out to the back and runs down the back. But the skull, when you have osteoporosis of the skull, instead of being a quarter of an inch thick like a skull is supposed to be in human beings, it gets to be an inch or 2 inches thick. And all the holes and tunnels that the spinal cord and the nerves are coming through, the inside diameter is reduced by maybe 50 to 75%, putting a lot of pressure on those nerves. That's why you have all these symptoms. And so if you can say you had tinnitus, ringing in the ears, as long as you can remember, you could have been born with osteoporosis of the skull, because it's not an age thing, and it's a nutritional deficiency thing. And you can have people, it's called Erb's palsy when kids are born with osteoporosis of the skull, Erb's palsy. So Here we go. At 140 pounds, I want you to get rid of all the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Okay, they all have to go, even the diet ones. And then I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. You're right on that cusp. So since you've had this for a long time, let's just say, let's go at 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, a full dose thing twice a day. I want you to get 2 bottles a month of our MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch or dinner time. And they're going to help support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone rakes, bone itself, including the skull. And you really need to get a hold of that book and that CD that Rebecca and I did together. It's all in your head. This is really going to help you, the information. And then I need you also because the asthma, I want you to get some extra of the EFAs. Okay, I want you to take, there'll be EFAs in the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, but I want you to get another bottle of the EFAs so you can take it 3 times a day instead of twice a day. Okay, and as long as you're staying away from the gluten, the bad foods, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, you'll absorb this stuff. And the
Yeah, I'm
asthma
actually allergic to wheat, so I don't eat any gluten, any wheat, any products like that at all. So
okay, good,
that
excellent,
helps
excellent,
me.
excellent. And then we have Oxybody, which is a liquid mineral thing which has oxygen in it. So you could take, a dose of that, a half ounce twice a day, be 1 quart a month of the Oxybody. That's going to help you. Let's see, the toe thing, by dealing with the osteoporosis of the skull, that toe thing should resolve itself. Okay, because when your skull is squeezing your spinal cord, you're getting all this stuff going on south down into your toes. It can be called hammer toe, turf toe, hammer toe, kind of thing. And it's caused by the skull squeezing the spinal cord. Okay, and then you do have MS, or the kids version of that, MS, multiple sclerosis. Okay, and let's start there. Don't forget, you need 3 eggs twice a day to rebuild the myelin in your brain. Okay, you need 3 eggs twice a day. That'll be soft boiled with soft yolks, soft poached with soft yolks, soft boiled with soft yolks. I have mine. I love the yolks as soft as I can get them. I want to be able to pour my eggs, okay, like soup. Okay, so you really need the yolk soft so you can get that cholesterol. When people get examined for MS and Guillain-Barré syndrome, they actually do a scan of the skull, because 25% of the normal brain weight is cholesterol. What? 25% of your normal brain weight, 25% of your normal brain weight is cholesterol. Okay, and when you start losing your cholesterol, you start getting MS, and Guillain-Barré syndrome is MS in kids underneath the age of 25. All right.
Wow, nobody's ever told me. No one has ever said that. So thank you for enlightening me on that.
Okay. Well, most doctors don't get taught anything about osteoporosis of the skull. And if you ask them, well, what causes Guillain-Barré syndrome? What causes MS? They will say, oh, it's an autoimmune disease. Your body's attacking itself. Okay, that's because they don't know. And so they blame it on you, so they don't have to say, I don't know. But all the details are in that book and the CD. It's all in your head. Okay.
Excellent.
It'll blow your
We'll
mind.
get that.
And that book and CD are literally flying off the shelf. And so that's because people have been seeking the answers to these questions, and doctors have never been able to do that. And they say, well, MS, that's one of those things where it's an autoimmune disease, your body's attacking itself. There's nothing to do about it except treat the symptoms. Well, it's nonsense, because it's a very simple nutritional deficiency disease. Don't forget those 3 eggs twice a day. And you can throw in the, don't forget the MSM, don't forget the collagen peptides. Wouldn't hurt to throw in the synaptives so the brain cells can talk to each other. And the Oxybody. I love the Oxybody for people who have asthma. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for all this.
Okay. Would you keep in touch with us? It's toll free. So give us a call every couple of weeks and tell us, how things are going along.
I will be happy to. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so much, Therese.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Therese. And you mentioned the book, Dr. Wallach, and Mr. Madera says that he went to Amazon, and it shows that it's out on Amazon. Well, folks, we are not out on wellness publications. So if you go to drjwallach.com, you will find all of Dr. Wallach's publications. I know on our website, Ask Doc Live, we do have links to his most common publications, but some of those are showing that they're out too. That just goes to prove that Amazon's not keeping up. And
well, not only that, I would like to know if they stop shipping that book because the medical system is attacking them.
No. We're not going to go there, Dr. Wallach. We're
Okay.
spreading hope. We're spreading the positive, and we're going to keep it that way as we continue on and share information with everybody. So if you are looking for the book and you're not able to find it on Amazon or Ask Doc Live, go to drjwallach.com. wallach.com. I know over the last 2 days, Dr. Wallach, over close to 120 copies of the It's All in Your Head and CD have gone out their doors. So
Oh, yeah.
that's very encouraging. More and more people are wanting this information in order to take their health into their own hands.
Yeah, it's a very common disease scenario, and the medical system has missed it for so many years, treating symptoms, not getting down to the basic root cause because they believe that it was due to an autoimmune thing, your body's attacking itself. No, no, no.
Yeah, no. And Dr. Wallach, I get so many emails, and I just want to thank Heather because she helps me monitor one of my email accounts. And this is one that really needs to be shared. She says, oh, and this is Ms. W. That's how she signed it. She says, I'm writing to let Dr. Wallach know how much I appreciate his expertise. I just had to finally get this out there. My 85-year-old mother was diagnosed with stage 2B lung cancer in December of 2021. Thankfully, she only needed surgery to remove a tumor instead of radiation and chemo. I had taken her some of your supplements, specifically the bone and joint pack, along with plant-derived minerals. This was to help strengthen her for the recovery after surgery. Doctors and physical therapists were amazed that at 85 years old, she bounced back so quickly after a grueling surgery, and her transition has been smooth sailing. My sister and I bought her a tub chair to help her get in and out of the tub. About a month or so later, I saw that the chair was gone and was now being used for her tub accessories. I asked her what happened and why isn't she using the chair anymore? She says, I don't need it. I can get in and out of the tub just fine without any assistance. I can see that she is moving faster now and she doesn't look as frail, just thriving at 85 years old, and she's loving life. Ms. W says, I really truly believe that your supplements have helped my mama get back on her feet and going as strong as she is. Your supplements are definitely helping for the long haul for sure. Thank you 100 times over your wisdom, knowledge, and certainly its power. God bless.
Oh, what a moving story. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, that gives me chills. So thank you, Heather, for letting me know that was there and putting it to the top so I could easily see it. That is just absolutely fabulous. Let's go to the next hand that is up, Dr. Wallach. And John, go ahead and unmute yourself if you would like to come on camera. You are more than welcome to do so.
Dr. Wallach, top of the morning to you.
Yes, sir. How can we help you?
Yes, last week, Rebecca presented some of the questions to you, and it was regarding my hip, and then I was using the pain to monitor the progress of the hip. I wanted to let you know that you told me basically to allow 90 days for certain things to improve. And I wanted to let you know that has improved quite a bit. I don't take pain medicine because I want to feel the pain in order to know how the improvement is taking place. And you also told me, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You also told me to go through and analyze all my other issues. You know, it's not just the hip that I should be looking at. I should be looking at. Matter of fact, I'll tell you a couple of the things that I noticed. Okay, basically, I had a neck injury in 1983, and they told me after a period of time I would start losing mobility, and I did. To where the neck I couldn't turn it as much. That has changed. I've got a lot more mobility. I was having that issue where like bone on bone, it'd be like a scraping, and that's went away. And one thing that's interesting too, I've noticed that I've got more saliva, and I basically have been aware of that because at night, I would, when I'd exhale, the breath would stop. But I believe that was due to I guess it's the epiglottis.
Yeah. Well, how many times at night were you waking up to go to urinate?
I haven't had that issue as far as urination.
Never had that issue. Okay, good.
Could be once, and then go right back to bed. But what I have noticed is I'm getting about 1 or 2 hours more sleep, and I've noticed this recently. And but I basically, you asked that I come on, and whenever I've got enough information of improvement, I am doing optimal using the product. I'm just to give you an idea. I started out about 285 pounds. I've dropped about 5 pounds. I am taking the product that would be for rated for like 300 pounds.
Okay, so you're taking the keto shake?
Yes, I am.
Okay, it's now 1 meal a day, and it's a meal replacer. Don't add it to a meal. It's a meal replacer.
Correct. I've also got the rebound.
Okay.
Like I said, I've taken Optimum, what the counselor at Longevity has recommended. And like I said, what I wanted to bring out too is that the product is so valuable. People need to realize that if they go in this fashion, they're getting better health and better as far as than most people. I mean, they're doctors, anybody. I mean, people, your celebrities, everybody. You can become healthier than they are, and it's not expensive. The way I look at that is, if I couldn't afford it, I would tell my sisters, I would tell my cousin. I say, look, help me to get a better health. I said, and only thing is I would then be obligated to report to them how that my health was doing. So all I'm saying is, it can be done very easily as far as you're taking the product. And I intend on continuing. Like I said, I know that it's the value is you constantly take the minerals, because what your body needs it'll use, and what it doesn't it'll throw off. And anyway, I just wanted to tell you, I'm not going to compliment you. I'm just going to appreciate you.
Okay, thank you so much, and we appreciate you sharing your story, because it's a very, very good story. We see literally thousands a day all over the world. We're in 80 countries, and so thank you for sharing your story. God bless.
John, if I may ask, and this is to give hope for others that are listening.
Yes.
Will you share your age?
Oh, of course. Yes, my age is, I'm 68, and I'm, like I said, I weigh 180 pounds now. Go ahead, Rebecca.
But you're fairly tall as well, right?
I'm 6'3", yes.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter how young or how old you are. When you get the right stuff going into your body, you're gonna have improvements.
Oh, definitely. And and we need to appreciate ourselves and be selfish enough to take care of ourselves.
All right. Very well said.
That's right. Thank you so much, John. We appreciate you coming on and checking in with us.
You got it. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
You too. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. And Lawrence, go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go. You are on live with Dr. Wallach.
Hi, Doc. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
I have a quick question for my son who injured himself playing basketball. On Tuesday night, he heard a pop in his left knee, and he went and got x-rays. Nothing's broken, but it's huge. It swelled up really, really badly. And since then, I put him on like pineapple, turmeric. The swelling's gone down, but it's still throbbing, the pain.
Mm-hmm. How much does he weigh?
He weighs 165 to 170.
Okay.
He's 6'1".
And how old?
He's 33 years old.
Okay. Does he have any other issues? High blood pressure, diabetes?
No, nothing. He's basically an athlete.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, athletes get problems.
Yes, they
Okay.
do.
Okay. It's 6'1", okay, 165 pounds, and he has a knee issue. I'd have him get off all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. You know, the diet one's got to go. I'd have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose of everything twice a day. I want him to get 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone breaks, bone itself, including in the knees and the hips and the ankles and the shoulders and the elbows and fingers and toes and so on. He also needs the collagen peptides, a scoop of that in his morning drink, a scoop of that in his evening drink. It has collagen from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And it helps rebuild all the connective tissue as well as the bone marrow, where you make your white blood cells and red blood cells and platelets and antibodies and so forth. Good for your immune system also. And then, excuse me, it wouldn't hurt for him to use something topically on his, well, one other thing, excuse me, vitamin D3. He should be taking vitamin D3, 2 of our bottles of vitamin D3, so he can take 3 of those twice a day. And then topically, he can take our CM cream, with the trauma oil in it, about 5 or 10 drops of the trauma oil in a teaspoon of CM cream, and you can place on that knee. And it'll be something that will work very well. And just remember, we're giving him a basic program. If he has any other issues, we have what we call secret sauces for over 600 different diseases. So, you know, you need to sit down and have a mom and son talk and make sure he doesn't have any other issues that have to be dealt with, okay? But this will be a great start. I deal with literally thousands of athletes. We have so many of them. You know, Theo Ratliff, great basketball player, 24 years old. He had bone-to-bone arthritis in both his knees. The cartilage popped off his hip. He fractured his shooting arm wrist, and he was under a contract with the Atlanta Hawks. They took away his contract. I came up with the rebound for him and the healthy bone and joint pack for him. And a year later, he got a contract back, and he played for 11 years and made $100 million in that contract by using just the healthy bone and joint pack and the rebound. And his picture, Theo Ratliff's picture, is on the can of rebound. It's on the canisters in the box of the sticks. Okay, and so that's a great story. Here's a nice young fella. And of course, he's been very dutiful. He has bought some training facilities, and he trains young athletes how to eat properly and how to supplement properly and how to take care of themselves to maximize their performance. And so he's paying back by training all these young athletes. He didn't just take all the money and run. So I was very proud of him. Okay.
I do have one question. If
Sure.
it's an ACL tear, with the healthy bone and the MSM and the collagen peptides and vitamin D, will that help that repair itself?
Okay, well, it depends. Is it a tear or is it a complete avulsion? I mean, if the tendons and ligaments are just yanked off the bone and they're just flapping around out in the breeze, it's not going to help that. Okay. But if it's just, you know, if you get a few fibers torn or something like that, but it's still attached, well, yeah, it will definitely help enormously. But then you have, 5 or 6 different tendons holding on, and say one of them is torn and the others are okay. And so the doctors, when they did they didn't say, okay, we're going to do a bunch of surgery and sew everything back up. And did they suggest that?
All they did was an X-ray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they referred him out to see a doctor to get an MRI. Mm-hmm. And he won't be able to get that until after he sees the doctor. And so I don't know if it's torn or not, but he did hear a pop when he
Mm-hmm. Well, is he able to walk or limp on this thing, or is the swelling going down? Or
he said the swelling is not as bad today. It happened Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
And the swelling is not as bad, but he's in a brace.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's get him on this program and let's see what happens in 2 weeks and whatever. And when the doctors suggest stuff, just say, well, you test me again to see where I'm at. Don't just let them run on information from 3 weeks earlier, because you improve every minute when you're on this program.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
Okay,
right.
Lauren, we look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Now, Dr. Wallach, I've got a question that's coming in an email from Alan. And Alan says, good morning. I look forward to advice for neuropathy pain in my feet. I've been to a podiatrist and have had a couple shots. Was told that the pain is caused by high arches. The pain is not affecting my sleep or daily activities. I just don't want it to advance anymore. I'm 64 years old, 6'2" tall, 217 pounds, exercise regularly and otherwise good health. I have no prescription medication and am interested in general wellness program as well.
Okay, I apologize. How old?
64.
64. Okay. Okay. All right. And so with that little bit of history, okay, what we want to do is when you have neuropathy means you have pain someplace, which is caused by something going on someplace else. And so if you look at what's going on where you have the pain, you don't see much, because what's happening is happening upstream, so to speak, okay? Squeezing the nerves, and so then the pain shows up south, okay? That's called a peripheral neuropathy. So to see here, 64 years old, he's riding that kind of middle-aged thing, 6'2", 217 pounds, that's about right. So I want him to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no brown rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then I want him to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. Full dose of everything twice a day. I want him to have 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone makes a bone itself, in all his knees and ankles and hips and back and neck and all over the place, okay? And I also want him to have the collagen peptides, a scoop of that with his morning drink, and a scoop of that with his evening drink. And that's also going to help repair cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue and bone marrow, so it can make white blood cells and platelets and red blood cells and antibodies to support his immune system. And then I also want him to have vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. I also want him to have, let's see, we've talked about all the collagen stuff. He can use our Rebound sports drink instead of soft drinks. And what I do, if I use the cans, which I do on a regular basis, I pop the top in the evening, put them in the refrigerator so they off gas all night, get rid of the carbonation. So when I drink it in the morning, there's no carbonation in there. I don't want the carbonation. I want the nutrients that are in the Rebound. And if you don't want to mess around with that, we do have a canister with 36 servings in it. It says powder with no carbonation. And then we do have the sticks, 30 sticks in a box with no carbonation. And so, there's all kinds of stuff. We do have the mineral sticks, which have a cherry extract, taste like cherries. They have collagen in there. You can take a few of those in his pocket and pop those into a cup of tea or something like that during the day, or in a glass of water, and that will give him some more minerals. And so it's a matter of giving the body what it needs to repair itself, and staying away from all the bad stuff that causes inflammation and causes a negative loss of nutrients. And so it wouldn't hurt to get some of these books and things. Let him read this stuff. Okay, it's all in your head. He's at that age where if he has osteoporosis, the skull is going to be showing up all over the place, and he can have pain in his legs and ankles and knees and think that's where it's at, but it's actually could be happening in his neck and in his skull. Okay, so and if you buy the book and the CD together at one time, you get a discount. Okay, because it's set. It's all in your head set. If you buy them both the CD and the book at the same time, you get a nice discount. If you buy them a week apart, you don't get the discount. And so let's see here. With that, wouldn't hurt to get the book Rare Earths and Cures, Chapter 10, tells you how to collect hair, how to package it up, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there, because the lab won't run the check. You get two charts. One chart is your essential nutritional minerals and tells you if you're absorbing. It tells you which ones are low. And also you get a second chart, which tells you if you have any of these toxic minerals like lead and mercury and uranium and stuff like that. And so it's a very, very useful test, and you don't need a doctor's permission to get it. And if you're running your own longevity business, it's a tax deductible thing, okay, because it's helping you run your business by being healthy and so forth. And the book is certainly a tax deduction because, again, it's going to help you maximize the benefit of your information to your customers or your associates or your business partners, okay?
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. So I've had a few people, not a few, several handfuls of people that reach out that are on dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we were talking a little bit ago about autopsies, and you had mentioned, looking into kidneys, share with us a little bit, Dr. Wallach, about some of the underlying causes of dialysis, what we can do to prevent. We've got about 15 minutes here.
Mm-hmm.
Things that we can do to prevent. I'm all about prevention. It's
Sure.
so much easier and more affordable to prevent something than to treat it later.
Yeah, well, that's why we put oil in the car, to prevent
That's
heat
right.
and friction damage to the car, to the motor and moving parts and so forth. Same principle here. Well, dialysis is a problem going on with the filtration system in the kidneys. Okay, it filters the blood, gets rid of all the bad stuff, and it goes into the urine and out the body. That's what the kidneys do. When you're eating bad stuff, what will happen is you start damaging the kidneys, and they cannot efficiently do their job. And so they actually release a hormone which causes your blood pressure to go up. And so usually when you have dialysis, you have a high blood pressure issue, and they'll put you on high blood pressure medication. And so don't cold trick off your blood pressure medication. When you're on dialysis, you want to stay away from all the bad stuff: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, rhinos, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go, because the carbonation is still in the diet drinks. Okay. And then I want them to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month if they weigh 150 pounds or more. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, a full dose twice a day. MSM, 2 bottles a month. So they take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And then I want them to have the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. Or if they weigh more than 200 pounds, if they weigh 250, 275, 300, I'd have them take 3 of the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Okay, 3 bottles a month, so I can take 3 with each meal. Okay, and they're going to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries and support healthy blood pressure. It'll work for the brain, the heart, the kidneys, all over the place. Okay, so it's not just the kidneys, but it'll work everywhere. And this will allow for the kidneys filtration process to move forward. If you're on high blood pressure medication for high blood pressure, don't cold turkey off of that. But as your blood pressure begins to drop, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the number. It usually takes about anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to be able to wean off of or significantly drop the prescription drugs for blood pressure. Okay. And then people say, well, how long do I have to stay on this diet? And how long do I have to stay on this program? Well, how long you need oxygen? Forever. How long you need water? Forever. How long you need the 90 essential nutrients? Forever. How long you need your kidneys to work? Forever. Okay. And dialysis, okay, just it only does a small portion of what the kidneys do. Basically, the doctors are worried about toxic stuff's accumulating because you're not urinating properly and so forth. And so that's what they're looking at. We're not looking at all the other pieces because I don't even know that's associated with the kidney. Okay. And so this is very simple stuff. And it's one of those things where we have, again, the book Rare Earths and Cures. We have the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie. We have the book Epigenetics. And Let's Play Doctor. Okay. There's all kinds of books which answer the questions. Hell's Kitchen. It answers the questions. Why are we having these problems? They're not genetic. They're not autoimmune. they're all due to nutritional deficiencies. Okay, so you deal with that, take the nutrients that are necessary to alleviate the problems, and it all goes away. Okay.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. I appreciate you going more into depth on the prevention and also the reaction and being able to support our kidneys so that they can filter the body as they're designed to do. And I know when I'm trying to filter stuff out, if I'm not using the right filter or my filter's not working properly, it's not filtering and things are just building up and creating sludge and
well,
making a
and
mess.
you reminded me there's another issue here because a lot of times people will call me, they'll be in their 60s and 70s and say, yeah, my name is Frank and I've just been diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes. Whoa, 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 what do you mean type 1 diabetes? Were you diagnosed at birth? He said, no, I was just diagnosed a couple of weeks ago. I'm 71 years old. Okay, well, it's not classic type 1 because classic type 1 is a birth defect. It's not a genetic birth defect, but mama's missing nutrients when the islet cell Langerhans are forming in the pancreas of the embryo. Okay, and when you have things like high blood pressure and diabetes, the doctors will give you nutrients, not nutrients, excuse me, they'll give you medications, okay, to get things under control. And they purposely start out by giving you metformin, which is an oral thing. Well, if you're eating gluten, which they know you are, eating pancakes for breakfast and bread for lunch and bread and noodles and spaghetti for dinner time and so forth, you're getting a lot of gluten. And so you're not absorbing very well. And so you take the metformin orally, medication for diabetes, and guess what? It won't work. So all we got is you have type 1, so we're going to have to give you insulin. So they give them injections. And of course, the injections, you can drop the blood sugar. But the reason why people have those problems is because mama was missing the nutrients early in pregnancies. And when you start getting high blood pressure, the kidneys get involved. And so it's a multi-factor issue here with high blood pressure, diabetes, and so forth. But it's all totally resolvable. I don't care. I take people that haven't urinated in 10 years. They're actually on dialysis 3 days a week for 25 years because they didn't want to get a kidney transplant. And then in the last 10 years, they didn't urinate at all. So they switched them from 3 dialysis a week to 6. And we put them on our program. And in 2 weeks' time, they're urinating. So they drop them back down to 3 dialysis a week. And in 2 more weeks, they're totally off of dialysis after 25 years being on dialysis. Because it's a simple nutritional deficiency problem.
All right. And so one of the reasons why I brought that up is in the chat, somebody's aunt who's 65 years old, 93 pounds, 5'2", has been on dialysis for 9 years. And it's more and more common, which reminds me of something that I learned this past week. Your wife, Dr. Myelin, whose birthday was yesterday, was a microsurgeon, which microsurgeons, they're the people that take and do those kidney transplants. And those fine, tiny little, it's just amazing that you can take something out, put something in within the body, it heals, and then it works. So, and she is the co-author of many of your books.
That is correct.
So you're taking your knowledge and her knowledge and putting them all together and creating these valuable publications that are not just somebody's theory, not just, oh, I thought about that last night, I'm going to write about it. This is actual experience.
That's right. This is based on all the clinical experience that she has, all the clinical experience I have, plus 32,000 autopsies published.
Yeah, it's amazing, folks. The information is there. All you have to do is reach out and find it. And again, at drjwallach.com, you can find all of Dr. Wallach's publications. And Ask Doc Live. You can find all of the replays for our programs. And I do want to remind you, if somebody shared this program with you specifically, get back with the person that shared it with you. They have their own special ways of ordering, and they want to make sure that you get the product that you need. And as a thank you to them for sharing this program with them, you need to contact them anyways. So get back with them, say hi, say thank you, that they appreciate, you appreciate what they did and taking the time to share this program with you. So I'm just going through here. I have Keith asking a question. What can I do to lower my PSA number with my prostate? That's another big issue with men's health, Dr. Wallach.
Okay. Well, the prostate's a very active gland. It requires a lot of nutrition. And so again, if you're eating gluten, you're not gonna be able to absorb enough nutrition to make the prostate happy. So you got to get off of gluten. And then you got to stay away from fried foods because it oxidizes fats and produces bad stuff that causes inflammation in the prostate. We do have the ProstFX. Okay, I take 3 of those twice a day. I don't have any problems, but I just take 3 twice a day just for prevention. Okay, and I also take my 3 eggs twice a day for the cholesterol, because cholesterol makes the prostate happy. Okay, it makes up 95% of the weight of testosterone. And then I take 3 of the Zeratest tablets twice a day. There's 2 bottles a month of the Zeratest. There's Zerafem for the females and Zeratest for the guys. I take 3 of the Zeratest twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month. And that's the raw materials for the Sertoli cells in the testicles to make testosterone. And don't forget the eggs, because the cholesterol in the eggs is what the excuse me, but the Sertoli cells in the testicles use to make testosterone. Okay, and same way with the females, they can use the Zerafem and eat the 3 eggs twice a day, and they'll be able to make estrogen, so it'll make going through menopause a lot easier.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And then we've got another question here. Lots of questions. Carbonation. We know we don't want to have any, sugar carbonated drinks, no diet drinks that are carbonated. There are some people that have water carbonation devices. Should they not even have plain carbonated water? And
carbonation.
What about the carbonation affects or makes it unhealthy?
Okay, the carbonation neutralizes stomach acid, which is the stomach acid is required to be able to absorb minerals and also to be able to digest food. Your stomach is designed with special cells called Chi cells to make stomach acid. Okay, when you have carbonation, which neutralizes the stomach acid, your stomach cannot do its job. It cannot digest food and cannot absorb minerals. So you're going to get a double negative hit if you're constantly drinking carbonation during the day, like soft drinks or juices and energy drinks and stuff like that. Don't do it. You don't want any carbonation. None, 0, maybe 1 glass of carbonation, once a year during your wedding anniversary. That's it, 1 glass a year. That's it, but not on any regular basis.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And, folks, you heard it from the man. It messes up with the acid levels within the digestive system that are needed to break down food and
absorb minerals.
So if you've got heartburn and all those good things going on and they just want to keep throwing these pharmaceuticals at you, it's not because you have too much acid in the digestive system. It's not enough. So we want to make sure that you're giving their body the nutrients that it needs without preventing absorption, and everything's going to start working better. So it's simple. It's simple, very, very simple. And I'm going to be adding on my co-hosts here because I am super thankful for my co-hosts. They help make everything run smoothly. Dr. Wallach, and there's Nasima. So folks, there she is. On behalf of Ask Doc Live and the Ask Doc Live team, we are just honored to be able to bring this program to you. It's a passion of each of our hearts. Each of us have experienced something within our own health journey that man right there, he's on my left on the screen, has been so instrumental in helping us reclaim health and enjoy life. You can have it too. You can see we're all different ages here. It's not just for the young. It's not just for the old. It's not just for those that are already sick. It's for everybody. And as parents, grandparents, yes, I'm a grandma 4 times over. It's our duty to share this information to help our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, not have to experience the pain and dis-ease that we around the world have come to accept as normal. It does not have to be normal. Let's change the norm and create healthier communities everywhere we go. So get back with the person that shared this program with you. If you have never spoken to anybody about longevity or the 90 for Life information, we have so many followers on different radio programs, our newsletter with Critical Health News, that if you found this program on your own, reply to the email if you got an email. But we do have a call team that's also standing by at 855-949-7234. We are here to help you get what you need to have. Oh, that's my radio program. I won't say that. Okay, to have a better by the minute life. Yes, everywhere we go, there are things that we can do. We can be empowered to create a better by the minute life. So everybody, on behalf of Ask Doc Live, thank you. Any of my co-hosts want to say any closing remarks? Just waves? All
I
right.
just want to thank everyone for coming and being part of Ask Doc Live. And all of us do have very intense stories of recovery by using Dr. Wallach's programs. Thank you.
Thank you for
Wonderful.
sharing.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here, everyone. And we'll see you again next week. Do invite others as well. And if your questions didn't get answered today because of the time restrictions, please tune in again, and you can reach us through our Contact Us on AskDocLive.com website.
This is why I need co-hosts. Thank you, Nasima. I don't think I mentioned that today, but everybody have a very, very blessed rest of this week. And we'll see you next time on Ask Doc Live. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.